I'm Allison LaForgia, Managing Editor of HousingWire's Content Studio. Today we're going through a demo of MCP Essentials with Jeffrey. The mortgage cadence platform, MCP, offers a comprehensive digital mortgage solution that streamlines operations, boosts efficiency, and supports lenders of all sizes. Whether you need a ready-to-use self-service solution, MCP Essentials, or a customizable enterprise-grade solution, MCP Enterprise, Mortgage Cadence has your right fit. MCP provides advanced automation, analytics, seamless integrations, and digital closing capabilities designed to make the lending process smoother, faster, and more efficient. Jeffrey, take us through the demo.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Vogel, and I'm a product manager here at Mortgage Cadence. I'm happy to be here today to share with you how Mortgage Cadence is transforming the mortgage industry with cutting-edge technology and powerful loan origination solutions. At Mortgage Cadence, we focus on building the best loan origination system to meet the evolving needs of the mortgage industry. The Mortgage Cadence platform, or MCP, offers two modern solutions. The first is MCP Enterprise, which is our fully customizable large enterprise solution. MCP Essentials is our newest offering. Essentials is a pre-configured solution designed for self-service and streamlined operations with reduced administrative costs. One key benefit of Essentials is that it retains enterprise-level configurability options on top of its pre-configured workflow and automation. MCP Essentials is the offering I'll be showing you today. MCP Essentials brings enterprise-level power to your business in a simplified pre-packaged solution. With self-service customization that leverages intelligent frameworks, you can scale efficiently and ensure maintainability while adapting to changes in your business and in the industry. Additionally, MCP Essentials simplifies your tech stack with an all-in-one platform that integrates the point-of-sale system, loan origination system, product and pricing engine, document classification, preparation, and extraction, and third-party integrated services such as Power BI for reporting capabilities. Our comprehensive end-to-end solution not only reduces complexity in disparate systems, but also simplifies vendor management and, in turn, lowers your cost of ownership. Lastly, MCP Essentials is designed with scalability and compliance in mind, so you can evolve your business while meeting the highest security and regulatory compliance standards. I'm excited to give you a taste today of how MCP Essentials can help streamline your operations and drive growth in today's competitive market. With that, let's get right into the demo. All right, so our demo would be focusing on one of the simplified administrative aspects of MCP Essentials, which is our UI Designer tool. UI Designer is a tool for creating or modifying pages that are presented to a lender's users inside of the loan origination system. UI Designer is what we call a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. It's an easy-to-use tool that allows a user with basic administrative access to create additional pages for data entry, dashboard review, and service orders. It's intended to be used by those with business knowledge, not technical knowledge. There's no programming needed. Like other administrative tools in MCP Essentials, it does not require IT support or a full admin team. It's the same tool used by Mortgage Cadence teams to build all of our pages, so you know we'll continue to support and enhance the tool. So let's set out a scenario for us to solve with the UI Designer. Let's say I have a unique product that my company originates. It's a jumbo product and under certain circumstances requires a second appraisal, either because the loan amount is over $2 million or it has been flagged as a higher price mortgage loan, or HPML. My company wants a simple page to track the second appraisal requirement and the completion of the appraisal. So there's three ways I can solve for this with UI Designer. One would be to create a net new page completely from scratch. The second way would be to copy an existing page, which would then make a custom page that I've got to maintain forever. While both are good ways, we've got a better way. MCP allows lenders to modify an additional information panel that's embedded within core MCP pages. These panels are custom to each lender and allows you to add fields to a core MCP page without needing to make a copy of it. This means that Mortgage Cadence will continue to maintain and update that page, and updates that we provide won't wipe out your additions to that page. It's great for when the MCP page has most of what you need, but you want to add an extra few fields. So for today, we'll add our extra data points to the MCP page, appraisal information. So here I've got my additional information page, and it's currently a blank slate ready for my additions. So I'll start off by using the multi-field selector to add my first few fields. So let's go ahead and add the base loan amount so I can tell whether or not I've got a $2 million loan. And let's also add the higher price indicator. That way I can tell whether or not I've got an HPML loan. And then we'll go ahead and add the second appraisal required field as well. All right, let's add those to the page. You'll notice that the added fields will snap to the grid automatically. There's a specific 4-column paradigm here. This is to support responsive design on a number of devices. You won't need to worry about formatting for different screen sizes. For example, this page will automatically reformat into 2 columns for a loan officer, say, working on an iPad at a marketing event. All right, so I've decided I want to make a few changes. I want to make this higher price indicator a checkbox rather than some radio buttons. So I'll just simply highlight this, click delete on my keyboard, remove that, and then I can put a checkbox field onto this page. We'll go ahead and set that up as the higher priced indicator again. All right. And then for my second appraisal required field, let's change the radio buttons to horizontal just for a little bit better readability. And then my organization calls these additional appraisal required instead of second appraisal required. So let's go ahead and just simply change the field label. All right, now let's add a button to add some automation. MCP Essentials has a data validation solution called Check, C-H-E-Q, and I want to help my processors validate data before submitting the loan over to the underwriter for review. So we'll go ahead and add a button here, and we'll grab the Raise Event button, and we'll set this with one of our check automations. Pre-check submit to underwriting. All right, and let's also set up security access so the processors and the processor managers can use this button. All right, next I think I'm going to need an explanation field. I don't have a field in the core MCP dataset that matches exactly what I want, and I don't just want this info in loan notes. Fortunately, MCP Essentials solves this for me. We have what we call reserve fields, which are partially configured generic fields that can be used for any unique purpose, and we have 1,500 of these fields. They're reportable in Power BI. They don't impact performance even if you use a lot of them on a page. And if you decide to use them with personally identifiable information, or PII, you can also set up these fields with a higher level of security. So we'll add a text box onto the page here, and we'll use one of these reserve fields. We'll select this reserved text 2. Now, obviously, reserved text 2 isn't a very good name. Let's relabel this with something that's a little bit more useful. Second appraisal explanation. All right, and then let's also add some helper texts that provide a little bit more detail as to what I want my end users to enter in here. So I'll just pop some text, and you see it shows up kind of as a tooltip underneath here. All right, let's change the width of this field so that it's a little bit bigger. This is probably not enough space for my users to enter enough data in so that I can completely see it. So I can change the size of the field here. I can change this to as many columns as I want. I think 2 columns is probably big enough for this field. All right, now I have some internal procedures that my company uses. These are stored on our internal website, and I want to link directly to those from MCP. That way my users don't have to navigate out of the system. So let's go ahead and drop a hyperlink on here. We can call these internal appraisal procedures. And then simply type the URL down here. All right, let's add one more field to this panel. Let's add a page link to a more detailed page with additional property information. I can add this page as a pop-up. So we'll go ahead and add that here. We'll bind this to one of our existing MCP core pages that I really like. Property and information. Property and appraisal information. All right. So now I've got a good amount of data points here. I think I do want one more panel though, so I can track important appraisal dates. So we'll go ahead and add an additional panel. And we'll call this one appraisal dates. All right, so let's go ahead and add a date to this. And let's add the second appraisal order date so I can tell when that appraisal's been ordered. All right, as you can see here, I'm only receiving date type fields when I type in second appraisal. The system knows that I've selected a date field and is only giving me those dates, so I don't accidentally put a checkbox type data point into a date field. It's got that intelligent framework that's keeping me within the context of the system. All right, second up order appraisal date is added here. Now I know I want 3 more dates, so let's go ahead and create those quickly. Again, I've got keyboard shortcuts here, so I can go ahead and press Control-C for that date field, select inside the panel, and add 3 more dates really quickly. All right, now all I have to do is select the data points that I want them to be linked to. So let's go ahead and add the receive date. And over here, we'll add the report date. All right, for the last field, I'm going to add the estimated closing date. That way we know what dates we're tracking to, so I know I have to get this appraisal back. All right. Okay, well, let's go ahead and save this. I get some auditing information. That way I can track that. And now that the page is saved, I can go ahead and switch to MCP and show you the final page. All right, we'll jump into my loan here. And as you see, I've got the appraisal information favorited over here. If I scroll down to the bottom, you can see the panels that I just added. Here's my base loan amount, higher price indicator, additional appraisal required, radio buttons. Everything that I just added is already there. So hopefully this highlighted how easy it is to configure page additions in MCP. Now, we've got a few minutes for questions if there are any.
Jeffrey, thank you for taking us through that demo. Let's jump right into some of the questions. You mentioned that MCP Essentials was recently released to the market. Can you explain the difference between the 2 offerings, MCP Enterprise and MCP Essentials, which you are showing here today?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got one platform, 2 offerings inside of it. Essentials is built on top of the existing MCP codebase. Mortgage Cadence has been around since 1999. We've got 26 years of best practices built up from working with our lenders. So while Essentials is new to the market, MCP and Mortgage Cadence is not. Enterprise is targeted at lenders that have an IT team to support their customizations. Those lenders typically heavily modify the workflow in MCP to their specific detailed desires. Essentials clients normally don't require quite as much customization. They're more focused on having a reduced administrative burden. We support that within Essentials by managing software upgrades for them and providing that pre-configured workflow and setup.
So you just mentioned that pre-configured workflow. How does the pre-configured setup help businesses get up and running quickly?
Big implementations are expensive and time-consuming. In today's market, no one has time for a 12-month implementation anymore. MCP Essentials allows a lender to implement that platform quickly. We want to get you working on the system so you can spend more time originating loans and less time creating technical requirements and building configurations.
And what are the key benefits of the self-service administrative tools for users?
Yeah, good question. So when we think of Essentials, we're really thinking enterprise power simplified. Essentials gives you the power of the tools we built for enterprise in an offering that has lower administrative costs. One key is that supporting Essentials does not require a full admin or IT team because it's business accessible and simplified. Mortgage Cadence maintains portions of the system for you, so it really feels like Mortgage Cadence is an extension of your admins. It allows you to focus on the portions of MCP that make you more competitive in the marketplace and less on the management of the system.
That sounds amazing. Jeffrey, thank you for showing us MCP Essentials. For more information about Mortgage Cadence, click the link below.